Hi, and welcome to Teaching Remotely with Google Tools, Part 2. My name is Diana Benner, and I am one of the Directors of Professional Development at TCEA. You can always find me on Twitter. I am at DiBen. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach me at my email address. It is dbenner@tcea.org. Also, if you would like a copy of this slideshow presentation, you can find that at tca.org/remote learning. So today I'm going to share some additional ways that you can use Google Tools when you are teaching remotely. Some things that we're going to talk about today is how to get organized with a to-do list, how to create lessons with Google Slides. We'll take a look at setting up some student expectations, as well as making a parent newsletter and creating a teacher website. So let's go ahead and get started. So, organization is very important, not only for you as the teacher, but for students as well. So if you are trying to get organized yourself or trying to help your students get organized, Google Keep is an excellent tool for creating lists. And so let me go ahead and I'm going to jump out to Google Keep just so I can demo that for you. So this is what Google Keep looks like. And you can see at the top here, it says take a note. So what I can do is I can start creating my to-do list. So I'm going to title this to-do list for Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. And then I'm going to put I need to check in with my teacher. I also need to do my math assignment. And I need to write in my journal. Okay. So I have a few to-dos right there for Thursday. So if I want to turn this into a checklist, you can see here on the More button, which are the three dots, I can come over here and click Show Text Boxes, and that automatically turns that into a checklist. Now, if you want to customize your to-do list with a header, you can do that as well. You can see I have a copy of a to-do list header that you can make a copy of, and I just use Google Drawing for this, but you can insert different backgrounds, different images, and different shapes to create your own custom headers. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to download this as a PNG. And you can see that it is downloading. I'm going to take a look at that. So you can see there is my header. So I'm going to make sure, I'm going to paste it here on my desktop just to make sure that that is the header, and that is. And so I'm going to come back over here to Google Keep, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an image and go to my desktop and open that up, and you can see that I now have my custom header for my to-do list. And as I do my assignments, you can see I have two of them now. I made one for Wednesday. And you can see that now that I have my to-do list, if I've checked in with my teacher, I can check that off, and you can see that it crosses it out and moves it to the bottom. Let's say I already did my math assignment. So again, checking it off moves it down to the bottom. And of course, I can always add different colors to my to-do list as well if I want to do some different kind of color coding with those as well. So that is Google Keep. So, and again, you can get a copy of that header if you would like to. Take a look at that. And Google Keep, you can do a whole lot more than just to-do lists or checklists. So got a link there for the help if you want to find out a little bit more about Google Keep. All right, let's talk about creating lessons with Google Slides. So Google Slides is really easy to use to create lessons with students. And the good thing about Google Slides is all your students can collaborate either on one slide, just like I'm going to show you from this example here, or you can send out the slide for each individual student as well. And Google Classroom makes that really easy if you're wanting to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go back here, and I want to show you, this was a lesson called Places Around the World, and this was created by Chris Clementi. And you can see with this particular lesson in Google Slides, Chris has the title of the lesson, and then she has some directions here. You can see that she included a short video with instructions as well. And so she goes through and she talks about how you can locate 30 different cities on Google Maps. So this particular lesson happens to incorporate Google Maps as well. So what the students are to do is they are supposed to go to Google Maps and use the Street View. And she gives them some different sites and challenges to, if they need any ideas, to incorporate different cities. And then once they're done, they go and look at other slides to learn about different parts of the world. And then they provide feedback. It looks like she assigned them some different peers to give feedback to. But here's an example that Chris gave them. So you can see the Tower Bridge. She's got an image there. She's got the text. And then when you click on that, that should bring up an image on Google Maps of the Tower Bridge. So really cool that you can look around that and actually pretend like you are in London looking at that. So that is really cool. All right, so to do this, you can see that there's this different slides for each of your students. So this is shared with all your students. You replace your name. So I could put my name here. And I'm going to look for, since I like to watch the Southwest Florida Eagle Cam, we're going to go to Fort Myers, Florida, and take a look at the Eagle Cam. So this link here, this little image is going to take me out to Google Maps. And I'm going to search for the Southwest Florida Eagle Cam. Okay. All right, so there is the Southwest Florida Eagle Cam. So I'm seeing it here. And if you want to get the straight view, all you do is you see this little person down here at the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag him up. Let's see, I'm trying not to lose my destination. Come back over here just a little bit. I'm going to drop him here. And you can see that I'm kind of close to the Eagle Cam. I can now search and I can zoom in a little bit more and do a little bit of more of a search. I can see that there are some photographers right in here. And so the eagle nest must be somewhere over in this area here. See, okay, and see, I can spot Harriet right here. So her nest must be around here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and highlight the URL and do a Control-C. I'm going to come over here and then I am going to link that box to that image or to that a straight view of the Eagle Cam. And now what I want to do is I want to put an image in there. So I'm going to replace the image. I'm going to go ahead and search for one. Let me search for Harriet Eagle Cam. And there you can see Harriet came up. So I'm going to click on that, click replace. And so there you have it. So there is the Eagle Cam in Florida. So you can come over here and click on the image and it's going to take you straight to where the eagle nest is. So I thought that was a pretty cool lesson. And again, all your students can collaborate on this. If you'd like a copy of this lesson, or you can get a template of that right here. And there is also, you can find it in Google Drawings as well. There is a template that you can use in Google Drawings. So I thought that was a really creative way to use Google Slides to present a lesson. Another way that you can use Google Slides is to set expectations. That way your students know what you are expecting of them each day of the week. You can see with this one here, this one was created by Allison Holmes Getler. And I'm going to go ahead and jump out to that Google slide so you can take a look at how she set this up. So this was week 2 at home learning. And she instructs her students to go through each slide to see what is expected each day. On the next slide, she has all the information. It looks like she has some office hours set up, and she's connecting with her students using Google Hangouts Meet. And it looks like they are doing that on Tuesday and Thursday at 1:30. And she shares with them how she's going to send them the link, which is via Google Classroom. She's using Class Dojo for them to message her. There's a place for her email, as well as a place for parents to call and text. So lots of good information on this slide. I like how it's all contained on just one slide. So if the students or the parents have any questions, they know how to get a hold of her. She has some things to know. So basically some assignments, apparently they're due by Friday, each day of the week. And so that's when they're turning them in. She's holding a Google Meet like we saw earlier on Tuesday and Thursday. It looks like on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, they're doing some read alouds for no more than 15 minutes a day. They're doing some independent reading, 20 to 30 minutes each day. And then she's got a thank sheet that goes along with that So this looks like this is more of an individual student activity, so they could come in here and type in what they're thinking, what they're wondering. There's some opinion writing. And anyway, it goes forth. And it looks like they are on spring break next week. But I thought this was a good way of, sharing with your students some different expectations, especially if you have some things that they're needing to do consistently for each day of the week or on various days of the week, just to kind of get some of that commonalities going. And I really like her information page here. So if you would like a template of that or a copy, you can click on Get Template. And again, that one was done using Google Slides. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is making a parent newsletter. So you can use Google Docs, which is really easy to create a newsletter for parents. Newsletters are a really good way. They really grab attention. And I think it's a good way to build relationships with parents. If you are wanting to share maybe some upcoming information, or this is what we'll be doing in the class the next 2 weeks, or highlight some good things that are going on in your class, I think a newsletter is a great idea for that. I do have a template that you can take a look at or get a copy of. So this one here is done in Google Docs. So all you do is type in the title here and just basically replace the text where you see it. You can replace the image that you are seeing here just by going to Replace Image. So again, this is just a one-page newsletter. You can make more pages if you want to. I found all of these different templates on this website here. They've got about 25 free newsletter templates that you can use depending on if you like certain styles that you want to use. Some have more text versus others may have more images. So lots of different newsletter templates that you can then download, upload into Google Drive, and then convert those to a Google Doc. All right. And lastly, I wanted to share with you about creating a teacher website. So Google Sites is really easy to use to create a website. I like Google Sites because it's just that one place where both students and parents can go to see all the information about your class. You can post assignments there as well. We do have on the tcea.org/remote learning website, we do have a Google Site session as well. So if you're just getting started with using Google Sites, definitely take a look at that particular session that was done by Peggy Reimers. So I do want to show you a few sample sites. So this site here, this is Haddon's first grade class. So you can see here she has all of her information. She made little buttons here in Google Sites. So you can click on the date to see the assignment and information for that day. So she's got a note to parents just to be patient, that all the work is not meant to be done at once. She talks about how first graders need frequent breaks. And so if I click on March 30th, you can see here is some information for language arts and it looks like they're writing in their journal. There's an optional brain break. There's some math and art, and then it goes on, but you can see how she structured her site with going into the different, by posting and by dates. She does have a recommended schedule for students to work on their assignments as well. She has when her office hours are. So it looks like they're using Class Dojo. So all of the teachers, looks like the team is office hours are Monday through Friday. And they can, parents or students can schedule a time to talk as well. So I thought this was a really good way to get the assignments and information out to students and parents. I do have another sample site here, and this one is by Marquita, your English teacher. So she's telling her students, we will work here since we cannot come to class. And it looks like she's doing some different listening practice and number practice for ESL. So it looks like she has some listening that she did a recording of.
Listen, write.
So she made some listening activities, and then it looks like they're filling out a Google form. And same thing with numbers. Looks like she made a video for her students, and then they complete the Google form. So these are just two different examples of how to use Google Sites in order to post assignments or just get information out to parents and students. All right, and be sure that you check out part 1 of how to use Google Tools to teach remotely. In part 1, I talked about how to check in with your students, how to keep track of communicating with them, how to give assignment instructions, create schedules, and then I talked a little bit about how to differentiate your lessons with choice boards. So definitely check out part 1 of the Google Tools, using Google Tools to teach remotely. And if you're looking for additional information, check out blog.tcea.org. Once you're there, you can do a search for remote teaching or remote learning, and all of the blogs that deal with those particular topics will come up. All right. I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me today as I talked about how you can use Google Tools to teach remotely. Thank you.